If you're a driven, active person who wants to reach and pursue a higher quality life with some ambition, then guess what? This podcast is for you. This is the Driven Athlete Podcast. What's up, y'all? It's your man, Dr. Kyle. We've got a really cool guest here today. It's the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Rosie. Thank you for coming in, man. I appreciate it.
I really appreciate it.
I know you're a busy guy.
That's awesome.
But tell us more about where you're at currently, what you've been doing, what you've been involved with. Give a little intro on yourself.
Hey, world. How you guys doing? I'm Coach Rosie over at CrossFit Sea Dog. I've been there for about a year and a half. I've been coaching CrossFit specifically for close to 13 years. I've been in fitness 15 years. I do a lot of the emceeing of the CrossFit competitions in South Florida here, and I'm looking to expand on that, but that's a whole different story for another day.
Yeah. I'm sure if you've been to any CrossFit type competition, Rosie's probably been the guy on the mic, introducing people, keeping things organized, getting new teams involved on the platforms. He's usually the guy.
I have fun. I'm just a loudmouth on a microphone.
Yeah, exactly. It's the best. Like, who gave this guy a mic? Okay, so you're currently at CrossFit Sea Dog.
Yep.
You've been coaching CrossFit for 13 years, so you definitely have a lot of experience, and you've seen the game evolve in certain ways.
100%.
What would you say is the difference now versus maybe when you started 13 years ago, getting your feet wet in that?
We know more about human performance now more than ever. I mean, obviously every year things change a little bit, and that's really dependent upon the athletes in the system.
Yeah.
So watching these teen athletes who grew up with the sport at 12 or 13 who are now in their 17, 18, in their early 20s, and watching these guys perform at a high level, it's pretty nuts. Because again, like, we had a subset of workouts, and those subset are now no longer the blueprint, I would say. But we're in a different world. The open source of programming's changed a little bit, but everyone's gotten bigger, faster, and stronger.
Yeah, what do you mean? So like back in the day, all the CrossFit gyms that are all affiliated with the CrossFit brand, correct? They were all under kind of the same programming and stuff, same direction? Or is each gym kind of able to do their own thing?
Each gym pretty much does their own thing. You have a good handful of coaches out there that do their own programming. Like, there's Bergeron, there's Hard Work Pays Off, there's Mayhem, there's OPEX, there's Invictus. There's a ton of other guys out there that run coaching programs and platforms that people can use. Back in the day, it was really just the gym owner or CrossFit HQ, the program. And from there, it's like, oh, I like doing more box jumps. I like doing more burpees. And everybody kind of just added on to it. Now we know a lot more about the aerobic capacity, a lot more about how to move large loads across the distance.
Yeah.
Way more gymnastics than there were back in the day. We were never walking handstand 50 feet. Now your 50 feet is pretty standard. If you can't walk 50 feet in your hands, go back to the drawing board.
Yeah. Seriously. Okay. Well, that's cool. So integrating a little bit more purposeful, I guess, programming choices, tailoring to each type of clientele for that specific gym. And the people that make up the demographic of that gym, you can alter the programming. It's not like you're locked into the CrossFit HQ.
And that's it, 100%. The whole model behind CrossFit is if you get bogged down by this routine, there's a problem.
Yeah.
Constantly varied. That's the whole purpose of CrossFit.
Yeah.
Getting ready for life.
Yeah. Good next segue. CrossFit. What would you say the main message of CrossFit? Like, what's the brand of CrossFit? How would you describe it?
In my words or in CrossFit's words?
Both.
My personal philosophy on it and how I view it is very simple. If you want to pick up a box, if you want to run track, if you want to live a little longer, CrossFit's the way for you. Everything is CrossFit. Essentially, do we say, hey, I want you to go out there and overhead squat 75% of your max for 40 reps? No, that's not for everybody. That's for your high-level athlete.
Yeah.
But the mom, the couch potato, the college athlete, the high school athlete, even my daughter who's 11, there's no reason they can't come in there and do a front squat or do a box jump or, run 400 meters.
So what you're saying is, like, the movements involved with CrossFit translate to functional capacity for life.
100%.
And then increases the likelihood of their healthy longevity and maintaining health trajectory for their life.
Absolutely. Gotcha. If you stop moving, something happens. It's not good.
Tell me more about, you've been in the fitness game for 15 years. Mm-hmm. What originally led you to dive into that?
My sister, if I'm being 100% honest, I was about 10 or 11 years old, and I think I was annoying her, if I'm being 100% honest. I was bouncing around the house, so she threw me 2 magazines. One was a fitness magazine, Muscle and Fitness, I'll never forget it. And then one was a gun magazine. And both had a crazy impact on my life because I'm a gun advocate. I like guns, gun safety, and shooting and enjoying. But fitness really took a hold of me at a young age. And, after losing both my parents to coronary heart disease, it made it even more apparent that this is something that's important and my passion.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Okay, so thanks for sharing that. I appreciate it. So your parents passed away had issues with coronary heart artery disease.
100%.
That's definitely been an influence for you to pursue fitness, health, longevity, nutritional routes.
Absolutely.
For you.
It's an eye opener because it could potentially happen to me if I don't take care of my diet or somebody else that I love in the family or anywhere in the world, really.
It's interesting you mentioned that because we have a lot of patients, right, that are CrossFit athletes, exercise enthusiasts, high-level athletes, active people that like want to live a high-level life and just longevity. Like, hey, this is important to me. I want to maintain mobility and vitality. And the stories we hear from people are very similar to that, where I was like, you're really intense with this. Like, why? Right? Where'd that come from? My parents, had this going on. I didn't want to end up in the same boat. Or if I see the genetic predisposition to maybe lead to that, I can take purposeful action to maybe lower the risk of that happening. And there's the sciences out there, like, as you know, right? Like, health and fitness has a direct correlation to lowering the risk of health issues in the future.
100%.
Right?
100%.
So that being an advocate for that, you're like, I'm going to coach, man. I'm going to be the guy that's going to help lead people through their life change and trajectory through fitness and stuff, coaching them, training them. Because you're doing personal training too, correct?
As well.
Yeah. So walk me through that. So you're a CrossFit coach. You've been in the CrossFit game for a while. Got engaged with the fitness game for 15 years. Influenced by your family, your sister, the magazines and stuff, which is cool. And so you're also doing personal training.
Yep. I train quite a few people in person. I actually have a pretty good following online as well. So if you're looking for online training or in-person training or local, I can help you out.
What's your Instagram?
My Instagram is The Real Action Figure Fitness.
The Real Action Figure Fitness.
That's right.
Any underscores or anything or at?
No.
Okay. The Real Action Figure Fitness.
That's the business page. My Instagram is actionfigure_fit.
Okay. Got it. That's what I thought. I was like, wait a second. Okay. Got it. So your personal training business profile is the Real Action Figure Fitness. Okay. All right. So how have you been doing personal training? How long?
So probably longer than 15 years, probably closer to 17. And the crazy part is I never thought I was going to be a coach. I worked out with a couple friends in high school, playing football at Gardens. We both went to Gardens High School. So from there, a bunch of people worked out with me personally. Then we used to work out at Gold's Gym, and then it went to...
The one on Donald Ross and Military?
Yeah.
Now it's Palm Beach Sport Fit.
Now it's Palm Beach Sports Club.
Yeah, Sports Club.
There used to be a Gold's in Promenade, too, back in the day. Okay. Now it's Planet Fitness.
Did not know that.
Yeah,
interesting.
They used to be 24-hour Golds when we were kids.
Interesting. Yeah.
So...
But I used to be at Gold's Gym in college before they transitioned to Palm Beach Sports Club.
It's still a nice place over there.
Yeah, totally.
I've gone there a couple different times.
Yeah.
Donald Ross as well.
For sure.
I was just asked. People were like, hey, man, would you write programming? Or, hey, man, could I work out with you? Hey, man, could you train me?
Yeah.
It just kind of evolved. And one day I was playing rugby. So I played rugby for 8 years. Guy saw me in Publix, asked me if I ever a coach before. And I was like, no, not really. He's like, well, I'm looking for a coach. Come check us out. A week later, in front of 80 people and 2 other coaches, Rosie's career started.
That's awesome. So who was it? Was it CrossFit Wild or?
No, that was actually Palm Beach County Boot Camp. Jared Lopez. Shout out, Jared.
Palm Beach County Boot Camp.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was
cool.
I was there for 4.5, 5 years.
That's awesome. So that's where the official coaching career started.
Yeah, 100%.
And then from there, what happened next?
I moved over to CrossFit Wild. I was there for 8 years. And
8 years.
8 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Part-time, but I still had my other jobs. I wasn't fully invested, like full-time coach.
Yeah.
Of that 8 years, I think 2 years I was a full-time coach.
Okay.
But yeah, that's
crazy.
Started, yeah.
That's out. Publix. It's where we were talking about pub subs a lot. One of the other episode. I had one yesterday. My kids like pub subs.
Who doesn't like a pub
sub? I know. It's a staple. So after the beach, it's like a great workout. It's like, I'm going to get a pub sub. It's a good option.
There are grilled chicken tender subs, not just the fried one, guys.
I didn't know that.
They make a grilled chicken tender sub.
I'll have to check that out. Dang it. Yeah. Another visit this week, probably. That's cool, man. So, all right. Then from there, personal training for your own brand, The Real Action Figure Fitness. When did that start?
Originally, that probably started about 4 or 5 years ago, where I started taking it really serious and wanted to train more people in person. And like any new trainer. I didn't know what my niche was going to be. I didn't have a mentor those times. I kind of just ran and stumbled, fell, progressed, regressed, and started training everybody. But I'm starting to niche back down to what makes me happy and what works. And it's really athletes.
Yeah.
So athletes are my main focus these days, whether it be CrossFit or any other sport, but also any individual who wants to train like an athlete.
Yeah.
So it's not just athletes.
Yeah.
So it's still everybody, but specifically that subset of people who want to improve their performance.
And want to train like an athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. What's the best way people usually reach out to you? Is it like public still, or is it on Instagram?
If you see me in Publix, definitely walk up. It's super approachable.
Yeah. Like, do you coach?
Instagram's fine. People see me on the street. I mean, as you were coined it, everyone knows me. So if you know someone that knows me, reach out. Let's get it done.
Cool. What are some of the most common questions that clients ask you? Like when they're like, hey, can you train me? Or like, hey, can you program for me? And then they're like, yeah, sure I can. And then what do they usually ask you?
The questions vary, but I would probably say the biggest question I get is, it's not said in these words, but it's boiled down to, what do I have to commit to? Like, how much time do I need to put in to get to my goal?
Like, what's the expectation here?
100%. And
what do you usually say?
depending on the person, but I was like, listen, you have two options. You can be consistent or inconsistent. If you're inconsistent, it's hard to figure out what's wrong, how do we fix it,
what's working.
If you're consistent, then we absolutely know where the problem is, because we can start dissecting it layer by layer and figuring out what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest ploy to everybody: be consistent.
Other questions like for the actual nuts and bolts or logistics of it, people, I would assume, because we hear a lot of people asking like, hey, I feel great in my shoulder, because we rehab people to get back to people like you, right? Mm-hmm. And like, my shoulder feels great. How can I lose weight? Or how can I improve my strength, right? People ask that too pretty often.
Oh, 100%. They ask me, what do I need to eat, or what do I need to do to get to a certain level? And I simply tell them, work out more, eat less if you're looking to lose weight. If you're looking to gain weight, you got to eat more.
Yeah.
People are like, what do you mean? I eat pretty good. Everyone eats pretty good. So I tell you, until you write it down. And then you're like, wait a second, I'm not eating as good as I thought I did.
So you advocate for people to write stuff like their nutrition plan?
100%. At first, you don't have to do it forever, but you got to know where you're at.
Yeah. Get a good baseline, figure things out.
You have to.
I'm sure it's a good eye opener. Like,
100%.
I didn't realize.
Well, I don't drink enough water, or I thought I ate good, but I don't eat enough. These things all play factors, as you know.
Yeah, totally. That's interesting. What are some of the main things, like goals wise, they want to accomplish?
These people are mainly myself.
They're your clients, like people that are inspired and inquiring to work with you.
Most people are literally come in to look good naked or live longer.
Yeah.
So I tell them we're going to do both.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to.
The great thing, we can add both at the same time.
100%. It just boils down to the time they have to invest. It's really that. And then, like you said, I get tons of questions of, does this workout good for me? Oh, my ankle hurts. But luckily I send them to you because you're my guy. And I appreciate that. And we try to make people better. Yeah. All around. And that's kind of your aim as well.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, for sure. No, like I'm glad you pre-framed that, because like we, our main thing is helping active, athletic, enthusiastic people fix their pain problem. And they're coming from personal trainers, coaches, gyms, facilities, like whatever, right? So we can get them back to guys like you and like take it from here. Right. Mm-hmm. But it's going to inhibit their progressions and stuff, where their shoulder keeps bothering them, or their low back, you know what I mean? And now it's becoming a problem where like, I can't sleep, or I can't do my work. I can't drive. I can't sit for a long time. I can't lift my kids, let alone like front squat 225. 100%. You know what I mean?
Once it starts impacting daily life, it's what's the point?
Right. Well, okay. So interesting. So people, they want to look better naked, right? Usually it's like physique, right? They want to drop body fat percentage. When people say lose weight, right? I would assume for us, we're like, what you're saying is you want to drop body fat percentage, right? And then increase muscle mass and strength, right? And look appropriate, right? Of course, people have different goals.
100%. It's an educational process. They say one thing, and then it's my job to let them know that's what you said is, this is what that means.
To clarify.
And this is what you're looking for. Cool. But if not, this is the route you need to be taking.
Yeah. What do you find most of the clients, your answer to them when they're like, what's the expectation here? Like how much do I have to commit to this per week? What do you usually say?
I ask them one simple question. If you're hanging off the side of the cliff and you only had to do a pull-up to save your life, if you could do it. If they hesitate, I tell them 3 times a week. If they can say with a definite answer, yes or no, I tell them 3 or more times a week. Okay. But the magic number is 3.
Usually 3 times a week.
You got to get moving 3 times a week.
Exercise purposefully for 3 times a week, and each exercise bout takes like an hour, 45 minutes?
Somewhere between 45 minutes and an hour.
Okay. So
that could be 90 minutes if you're in the weight room, but that's including downtime and rest time.
Yeah.
But really it's about an hour.
Gotcha. Well, I would assume when you break it down like that, it's super reasonable. Like, can you commit 3 hours a week? Right.
100%.
The one thing that we've done for people, including myself, right? Time audit. It was like, I don't have time. Like, you have time. It's just about priorities because everybody's busy, right?
100%.
I'm sure you hear that all the time.
100%.
Everybody's busy. It's just a matter of, is it important to you or not, where you're going to prioritize it or not? Because it's like, all right, let's do a time audit, right? You don't have time, right? Totally understand. You have kids, you have job, all that stuff for sure. 3 hours a week, which is not that much, right? How much time are you spending on Netflix?
How much time are you spending on your phone?
Scrolling Instagram, right? I'm talking to myself here, guy. I'm not like judging anybody. I'm talking about, this is me, right? I'm like, I could definitely scroll less. The funny fail videos is that's my vice. Right? It's the funniest thing ever. I send my brother, my wife, my sister like these funny videos all the time. How much am I scrolling? How much football am I watching or Netflix or whatever? What's really important, right? And interesting too is like, I'm sure you have the same conversation with your clients. The best definition of discipline that I've heard is the battle between what do I want now versus what do I want most. And you are ultimately what you consistently do.
100%.
And you are who you hang out with.
100%.
And consistently, which one do you choose? What do you want now versus what do you want most? And ultimately, that's, there's just a range of discipline, right? It can be taught. Writing things down, like you said, and then having an accountability partner increases the likelihood of reaching those goals like 72%.
Yeah, it's a crazy number.
Right. So it's just a matter of like prioritizing and investing the time.
It takes a village.
Yeah,
and
totally.
For me, myself, I like to lead by example. So I just finished up 75 hard Saturday.
Oh, you did?
So I did 75 days straight, no alcohol, 2 workouts a day, the whole gallon of water, reading 10 pages of a book, no extra sugars, no cheat meals. I stuck to the plan. It wasn't easy.
And it's 2 workouts a day?
2 workouts of at least
some kind of
45 minutes.
Activity twice a day.
And one has to be outside.
Yeah.
So I know
Sunlight.
Vested walk, vested run, playing a sport, pickleball, getting my wads in, hitting the regular gym. It was our yoga. Those are great sessions as well.
Make sure I got this right. 75 day hard. It's 75 days in a row of working out twice a day, one of which has to be outside.
Correct.
No added sugar, no alcohol.
Correct.
What else?
Pick any diet you want, stick to it.
Okay.
Drinking a gallon of water.
Every day, drinking a gallon of water.
Every single day. And then reading 10 pages of a nonfiction book every single day.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I was going to say with the book thing, definitely a goal of mine. I enjoy reading nonfiction stuff. I had a guy one time I was working with, I was like, yeah, this book was pretty cool. Have you read that? And he's like, nah, not really into self-help books. And I'm like, what? Why? I felt judged. I was like, I'm a super nerd when it comes to that stuff. But my mental capacity and willpower by the end of the day is definitely drained, right? So a mentor of mine was like, you're not allowed to read more than 10 pages. That's it. Only read 10.
That's all you need.
And you're done. Actually, you can't read 11. You're not allowed to. It makes it way more chewable, And then over the period of like 4 weeks, you're like, I read a whole book. It was easy, right?
But 300 pages is that.
Exactly. And it wasn't like super exhausting or it's way more chewable. So anyway, I like that. So 75 day hard, you just finished that on Saturday.
100%.
What would you say the most challenging part of 75 day hard?
The days, like the weekend, especially Sunday, where I didn't have to go into the gym, I didn't have clients, where it was just like simple work from the computer, having to get up, go out, get those workouts in. We just kind of wanted to rest.
Yeah.
6 days a week, I'm busting my butt, so I just wanted to do nothing.
Yeah.
But like we talked about, what am I willing to do invest in to get where I want to be?
Yeah.
So I wanted to make that goal happen. I wanted to reach this thing. So I had to get my butt up and get after it.
Yeah, totally. Who's your coach then for that? Like what kept you disciplined or what kept you like consistent with that? I
got a good buddy of mine. His name's Josh, and he definitely holds me accountable. So he's a guy in my peer group, and he's a good friend of mine, one of my best friends. I almost failed 12 times during the 75 days from being 100%.
Okay, I was going to say that's normal, I would assume.
100%. Yeah. Most people fail within the first 2 weeks or the last 2 weeks. And I had quite a few things happen over the last few months this year. I had a few friends pass away. In that, one of the times I was definitely feeling down. And I was like, you know what? I'm screwed. I'm done with it. Honestly, it was about 3 weeks out. I was like, I'm done. I'm not going to make it today. He looks at me, he goes, get up, go put your gear on. We're going for a walk.
Yeah.
just that little nudge was everything I needed. I got my walks in, I got my other workout in, I got my pages done, I got my water in. It helped me remember, hey, you have a goal. Doesn't matter what's happening, let's stick to your plan.
Yeah. Another thing I was going to touch on with that too, from my own like perspective on this, like I have not done 75-day hard, which is a goal of mine for sure. Like 2 workouts a day, man, you're going to break things. Like it's just too much overlap. Workouts don't have to be super intense every single time.
No.
A walk counts as like a workout, physical activity.
A brisk walk with some intent.
Yeah.
Not going on there just strolling.
Some intent. It's a good way. Yeah, totally. Good point. So with some intent, a mobility drill with some kind of exercises, boom, that's a workout.
100%.
So to clarify to people, like twice a day workout, we're not maxing out on bench and squat twice a day for 75.
You could, but you're going to see Kyle a lot more often.
Yeah, like I got a back thing going on. So tell me more what you're doing. Like we can dial that back a little bit. That's okay. I was going to say another interesting point that we hear from clientele, and CrossFit athletes the same. Workouts don't have to be to death every single time.
No.
Right. I'm sure you guys advocate for that, like your coaching and stuff and your training business.
When it comes to the client, it's our job as a coach to let them know when they're going too much. You know, do I let clients come in 5 days a week? Depends on the person. Now, there's some people who are a little more high level than others.
Yeah.
I'll tell them to dial it back. 3 days on, take a day off.
Yeah, totally.
You know, and my personal programming, if you're on 3 days, there's definitely going to be an active recovery day coming right after that third day, that fourth day. It just has to.
Gotcha. Well, anyway, I think it's a good point with the 75-day hard. You know, it's like not every day has to be super intense. If you don't mind sharing, what books were you reading during that time?
So I read Tipping Point, I read Outliers, and I read 2 books, and I did a lot of reading this time. I read 2 books on actually the Fitnesspreneur, and I forget. I'm reading the CrossFit manual actually over again just because I'm a nerd. What can I say? It's just...
I want to do some light reading. Let me read this manual on CrossFit.
Because CrossFit itself's changed quite a bit, and working with CrossFit athletes, working with CrossFit itself, working with a lot of the competitions, I just wanted to make sure that my understanding was up to date.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Man, it's what you do, it's your craft, you know? That's cool. So you're an advocate for 75-day hard.
100%.
With the on Sundays, my rest day, don't feel great. Don't want to work out. I got some stuff still got to work on. That was the most challenging part.
100%.
What's the next most challenging?
If I didn't get that water in early, if I didn't start drinking early, dude, I'm up until 8 o'clock at night drinking water. Like that middle part of the day, that 2 to 4. If I was slacking on water drinking because I'm coaching too much or I'm working out, it made it hard at the end of the night because I woke up.
So the water.
Yeah.
What about the? Because I'm a beer guy. I like beer. You know, occasional cocktails and stuff. Was that challenging for you?
Honestly, no.
No.
I partied enough in high school and college where I could take a little time off.
It's okay. Yeah, totally. I've had several mentors say the same thing. You know, they're like, I really don't drink anymore. I'm like, I'm not there yet. You know, I do enjoy occasional beer. Usually after I put my kids to bed, I have a beer and I wake up and I'm like, I passed out an hour ago. I need to wake up and go to bed, you know, and I drank 3/4 of one, you know. This is dad life. Which you know, right?
I know.
That's funny. So you're an advocate for 75-day hard.
I think so. 100%.
What changes did you notice by day 74, 75? And when did you start noticing changes?
Honestly, I started noticing changes about 3 weeks in.
3 weeks in. So 21 days in.
100%.
What changes did you notice?
Just A, the way I woke up and the energy levels. B, mental clarity, being a little bit more focused, a little bit more driven, not having any real distractions, knowing every day that I had a clear task list of things I had to do aside from just work. So everyone gets bogged down in work and where you're like this repetitive routine, get up, brush your teeth, take the kids to school, walk the dog, grab coffee, go to work, you know, and be at work, have your frustration points and move on and then leave and go home and probably bringing work home or not spending enough time with the family or spending a lot of time with the family or taking the kids from sporting practice to dance to whatever it may be. There's a lot of things that happen to all of us. And like you touched on, what are the priorities are important.
Yeah.
You got to put them ahead.
Yeah.
And then get it done.
Yeah.
My new a phrase that I've coined the last couple of weeks, just cowboy up. Watching Yellowstone just brought it out in me. Just cowboy up. Just get it done. Cowboys don't complain.
Yeah.
You got to go catch the cattle. Got to go catch the wolf. Just get it done.
Yeah. I like that.
Just get it done.
I like Yellowstone. I found myself talking with a little drawl after every episode. My wife's like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I was in mode.
Yeah, I was in the mode, man. I got to watch the show with a cowboy hat on and a belt buckle.
Right, with a nice little whiskey next to me.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm going to do 75 Day Hard is on my list. There's no reason why I can't do it, you know.
Listen, I'm going to start up a game with a group of people. Every time I do it with a group of people, and it's super helpful having other people who are going through the same thing.
100%. That's the key, you know, writing it down and an accountability group or 100%. A coach or something like that. And if you pay for it, you have more skin in the game and more likely to reach out too, which is definitely understandable. For the patients that we see, is the same thing. I would imagine if you cleaning or personal training clients, they're a little bit of skin in the game and they're investing in it with an accountability coach and they write things down. It's like literally fail proof, as in like you showing up, right? You're going to
just show up and you'll get it done.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm in. Next time you do it, let me know.
Deal.
When you just finished on Saturday, so you're gonna take like a break, I assume.
So I'm taking 30 days off, and then I'm gonna go back on for 30 days. I'm gonna do the whole phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3.
Okay, we're in. I'm in. This is it. I'm in. So and you're still compete a lot at CrossFit?
Actually, I am.
So you did the CrossFit Open.
I did the Open. That was my first time in a couple years. I had some injuries, and for my old man self, mind you, I'm 39 now.
Your birthday was 2 days ago?
Friday, yeah.
Yeah, happy birthday, man.
I appreciate it. I was middle of the pack. I was 51 percentile.
Okay.
So, and that's after taking a little layoff from actually competing or getting at it competitively.
Yeah,
so
that's really good.
Actually, I'm hiring a new coach. It's my buddy Ryan, Squat Father. Shout him out. He's the man. Go check him out on Instagram. Gifted Performance. He's going to be writing my programming for my master's training.
Okay. Who's Ryan?
He's Ryan Zasloff. He runs the Space Coast Classic. It's happening in Melbourne, December 9th and 10th. Guys, if you're looking to compete, check it out. I'll be there emceeing it as well. And Squat Father himself, he has a program, Gifted Performance.
Okay.
They're integrated to schooling. They're integrated into the college level, and they work with all athletes, bodybuilding, CrossFit, cyclists, BMXers, motorcycle guys, whatever you want to do. These guys help program for that.
Cool. That's awesome. I mean, so coaches have coaches. I heard somebody recently, it was a little aggressive, but they were like, if you're a coach and you don't have a coach, you're a hypocrite. And I was like, that's not wrong. A little aggressive.
You nailed that. That's a little aggressive.
A little aggressive, but I don't disagree with that. You know, if you're trying to grow and help other people grow, you need like the person, your mentor, your peer group, and then people you're coaching. I totally understand that too.
You need someone to hold you accountable and make you do things that you don't always want to do.
Right. And checking in on you.
100%.
Clean it up. Cowboy up. Let's get it.
Cowboy up. Let's get it.
So for you then, competition, what are your next goals with your own competition training? Because the Open's coming up in February.
Yep.
Is that what your goal is, or other competitions?
I'm going to do my best at this next Open, see how far I get. If I get the regionals or further, awesome. If not, it's just a springboard into the next Open. But aside from getting prepared for the CrossFit Open, I'm actually going to compete on stage in the physique contest next year at some point.
Okay.
So I'm going to go through some prep training for that.
Yeah, totally.
But I also want to compete in maybe 1 or 2 local level events here in Palm Beach.
Okay.
As far as CrossFit events.
What are the main ones in this area? There's Watamania.
You got Watamania. You got Wadapalooza is actually the biggest in the state.
In Miami.
That's down in Miami.
Yeah.
You have my gym's competition, actually, the Sea Dog Summer Showdown. You have Palm City's CrossFit Throwdown at the fairground.
Throwdown for the kids?
We got Throwdown for the kids at Squad. Those are good ones. ACC, which is now dubbed into a new name now, Atlantic Coast Classic. That's a really big one. Bacon Beatdowns.
That used to be up in Daytona or Jackson? Mm-hmm. Daytona?
Mm-hmm. Wheel Wad Games, they got stuff going on as well. Like I said, Space Coast Classic's a new up-and-coming comp that's going to be up in Melbourne, so anybody up north, you're going to have a place to compete and showcase those skills. There's a ton more. I don't want to leave anybody out, guys. Please don't get mad at me. Yeah. Any of the gyms that I work.
Reach out to us if we didn't include anything.
Yeah, definitely reach out to me. Don't blow my DMs up. Definitely reach out to me though, and we'll get some work together. I got a team that I work with, High Tide Fitness Media, and they're fantastic. It's been kind of a building process over the last 10 years, and they do a really good job behind the scenes helping competitions get run.
Cool. For athletes that you work with or friends with, whatever, people, listeners, what do you recommend to people who want to excel in competing and be successful in their competition training?
Be realistic. Sit down, take a look at your weaknesses, take a look at your strengths, and go to the drawing board and start putting in the work. I always tell the clients, listen, the weights don't lie. You cannot buy this stuff from the gym. You cannot buy success. You cannot go there and say, all right, I'm going to spend $1,000 and be able to squat 400 pounds.
Yeah.
You put the work in.
Yeah.
That's it. There's going to be days where it sucks. There's going to be days where it's fantastic. And there's going to be days where you feel in the middle. That's normal. Welcome to being human. Get out and get it done.
But just consistency is the most important thing.
Like all my clients know, especially the CrossFit classes, they'll hear me say, "Oh, today sucks, guys. Get ready for it." And it's not a derogatory thing. It's to let your mindset know. You already know it's going to be tough. You come here knowing it's going to be tough. So let's move past that. How do we get through it?
Yeah. So, and I'm here in your corner to help you.
100%.
Yeah. I saw another interesting thing on that with oh my gosh, what did you just say? I'm drawing a blank here.
Said a lot of stuff in the last couple minutes.
The physique, you can't buy it. So I saw an interesting thing on that. I was like, that's totally true. It's a direct reflection on consistency, an element of discipline for sure, and accountability, self-responsibility that can't be bought.
Can't do it.
Your physical physique, you can't buy your way into like squatting 400 pounds, whatever. All right, whatever your goals are, right? Body fat percentage down to 12%.
Run a 10-6 like that 45-year-old guy at the Masters, which is nuts.
Oh, that's insane.
That was nuts.
Man.
45-year-old guy running.
High five, man. That's crazy. But like that is just a direct reflection on consistency, discipline, and accountability, hard work, self-responsibility that can't be bought. Like you cannot fake that. There's no, you can't be handed that. So I was like, I respect that statement, and I also respect people that are in really good shape, and that just demonstrates the long-term consistency and discipline.
100%.
People have definitely very different challenges during their day, like family, kids, work, all that stuff. Totally makes sense. We would love to help people get to be more consistent, make it more chewable, and like this is attainable. Walk them through their journey, of course, right? That's what you do.
100%.
We're not trying to bash anybody or make people feel bad.
No.
But it can be done, and we would love to help you, right?
Yeah. And it's not easy. We all know it's not easy.
It sucks.
We have our days. Everyone. Me as a coach.
Yeah.
Like I said, I almost failed. My buddy had to kick me in the butt and get me back on track.
The other thing interesting I heard too from another mentor was like, you talking to me, right, Kyle? Hey, physical fitness and as a father has a direct relationship to your kids and your relationship with your kids, and also their trajectory in life too, where the health of your kids has a direct relationship to the health of the parents. And I was like, that makes total sense,
Kids
they see that.
Exactly.
They see it, and it's leading by example. Like this is a norm. Like exercise, whether it's very intense days, light days, we skip. They're totally understandable, but at least somewhat consistent and prioritizing it in your life. It's gonna lean into your kids' perspective on life too. Right?
100%. Your kids are growing up in the gym. My daughter's grown up in the gym. That's all she's ever known.
Yeah.
Literally,
they love coming here. They love like throwing the balls around and jumping on the Bosu balls and making little fairy rings with our foam rollers like Bluey.
Like my daughter, I have tons of videos of her writing her own little workouts, swinging kettlebells.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Climbing the rope, doing box jumps.
That's cool.
Now she'll jump in with the adult classes and get after it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I don't ever force her. It's awesome to see her want to do it.
To want to, yeah. But it comes from just it being normalized, with the mom and dad.
Dad did it, so might as well do it too.
But anyway, if you have any questions with that, you can definitely reach out to Rosie. Reach out to us if you have any issues that prevent you from doing that. We can at least hold your hand, be in your corner, be like, yeah, well, this is doable, it's chewable, and it actually is going to enhance your physicality, lower the risk of injury in the future, and longevity for vitality, right? That's what the research describes.
And be surprised what it does for your mental health, guys.
Oh, 100%.
It is imperative that you understand that aspect the most, aside from the health benefits, the mental health aspect.
Yeah, totally.
It'll help you keep your stuff together.
Yeah, I agree. Especially when you have a lot going on, Okay, so specifically though, forms of exercise, CrossFit being one of that philosophies and approaches.
Right.
CrossFit has been known to be controversial, right, to say the least. That is what it is. A lot of people are intimidated by it, right? Or like, I don't want to get injured. I don't want to do CrossFit, right? What message would you want to convey to people regarding CrossFit?
I keep it super simple. There's the NFL, there's Pop Warner. So I break it down to that for people. There's CrossFit team, and there's CrossFitters. CrossFitters are the guys you see in the CrossFit games you see on TV, you see at these high-level competitions. CrossFitting are the mom and pops, the next-door neighbor who are going in there just to get a good workout and live longer, move better, have better mobility, have better balance, just lead a generally better lifestyle.
Yeah.
So there's a division, I don't expect to go out in the flag football field and be Ocho Cinco, but I go out and have fun.
Yeah.
Same thing with CrossFit.
Yeah.
We meet you where you are. And if you're at a gym that pushes you too much, then take a step back, maybe find a new gym.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Do you find yourself with that analyzing and assessing each clientele in there and be like, hey, right now this might not be appropriate for you. I want to see you scale back to this instead. You can still participate in the workout, but let's modify.
100%.
Because a lot of the lifts are complicated and complex, and in a group environment, I'm sure it could be challenging for people that aren't super proficient or experienced with a snatch or a power clean or a jerk press, right? Or a deadlift even.
Yeah. I tell them very simple. Listen, guys, you're here. This is day one or whatever day it may be. We're going to put you in this mode. This is where I want you to work on. If we're doing snatches that day and I see a client can't do a full squat snatch, then guess what? You're going to work on the hang power snatch. You're going to work on the overhead squat. You're just going to work on the snatch pull.
Like an element of that movement.
Just to get more comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
And then progress.
Yeah. The weight's going to come. Quality over crap.
Yeah, totally.
My people hear me say that all the time. Quality over crap.
That's a good point. And ultimately, I would think that would lead to more consistency if they're not getting hurt and stuff like that.
100%.
Because they're going to want to keep coming back.
Like, all right. And any individual that walks into most CrossFit facilities, they have that dog in them. So I tell my guys, you come here for a reason. You know it's going to be challenging. You know it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
But you want to beat it. So get it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen.
That's awesome.
For anybody out there that is a little afraid, just walk into it, give it a shot. If it's for you, awesome. If it's not for you, go see Orange Theory, go see personal training, go to F45. There's tons of boutique stuff out there. Do something.
Yeah. That's cool. Some of the elements of CrossFit, what are the most challenging ones for people that you find?
It's either going to be the Olympic lifts or their cardiovascular endurance. And honestly, be surprised.
Cardio for me is the worst.
And giving an adult a jump rope and telling them to do double unders, they look at you like you're speaking French.
I can't do double unders here. You did the two main things for me. I cannot. Double unders, I've just never really practiced them. And I'm like in the middle of a workout, I'm like, man, right now I'm exhausted. I'm not going to try to learn in this moment.
And that's 90% of the people.
That's funny. And then the cardio.
Or the echo bike. Everyone hates the echo bike.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, it's tough.
So the cardio component, the dubs, some of the skill work.
Yeah, if you're not proficient on pistol squats, there's stuff you can do, but it can be very intimidating seeing someone snatch or deadlift and then go do a pistol squat and then for a run, be like, want me to go do that now?
Yeah.
You can do an element of that.
Yeah.
It's all doable. I have an 86-year-old client and I have a 6-year-old client. That's my range currently right now.
86 to 6.
She comes in 3 times a week and gets after it.
That's cool.
It's awesome.
That's awesome. So the message you want to convey is like, it can be intimidating. It's definitely a robust environment. And if you're new, you don't have to do all the same stuff everybody else is doing. We can scale it back.
Absolutely.
And then I know for me too, like I don't want to not try to keep up with everybody. And I'm dying, right? Mm-hmm. Taking extra rest breaks is okay. Or during the cardio component, maybe like backing it up a little bit is okay.
I tell people run with your strengths, walk around your weakness. So if you know you are a good runner and today's a kind of a heavy load day, do the running great. Do your best on the load. Quality over crap.
Yeah, totally.
That's it.
Love that.
I don't want to push an athlete past a point to where it's going to hurt them, but I want to push them further than they think they're able to go.
Right. That's cool. I love that. So, I appreciate you coming in, man. I think 75-day hard, I'm doing it. All right.
Deal.
We got that going on. We'll get you in again and talk more about some exercise and some personal training stuff, supplements, nutrition, all that. There's tons of podcasts we could do on that stuff.
I love it.
But tell people more about how they can find you, how can they reach you, your website, Instagram, phone number, DM, like whatever.
Yeah. So the website's actually under construction right now, but you can find me on Instagram, The Real Action Figure Fitness or actionfigure_fit. Either one of those I can easily be gotten at. If I don't answer immediately, I will answer back. It's usually me running it. I don't have my little one. My daughter, she's super tech savvy, which is crazy. As you know, the kids, they know so much more than we know.
My son already knows how to turn on the TV.
My daughter,
he's a year and a half. Like, how did this thing turn on? You have the clip. How is that possible?
Yeah. My daughter's 11. She's now on Snapchat. She's on TikTok, and it's wild.
Oh, man.
It's a whole different world. But she's a good kid, so I'm not super worried.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, you can reach me on Instagram. You can reach me on Facebook. The same thing, Action Figure Fitness, The Real Action Figure Fitness. And then when the website's up, we will talk about it for hopefully in the next podcast.
Definitely. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for coming on. And if you have any issues or anything that you feel like is holding you back from wanting to work out, any pain problems, that's what we do, right? Rehab, to get you back to guys like Rosie or other gym facilities. We would love to talk to you too and at least answer some questions and some concrete answers of maybe what to do next to get you back to be more functional and more chewable with fitness and stuff.
100%.
But we'll get it in next time, man. Appreciate it.
Man, thanks for having me.
Catch y'all later. Hey, hold up. As you know, we're a small local practice and we don't run any ads or sell anything on this podcast, but it would mean the world if you could share, write a post or word of mouth recommendation for somebody just like you that's athletic and active that wants to live their dynamic lifestyle and pay some good karma and pay it forward to somebody else just like you. And who knows, you could change their world and a 10-second review could be that avenue.